Become a villain. At some point in your life, you are going to have to become the villain in their story. Sooner or later, you're going to start to have to choose you over anything. Something that one of my homeboys would always tell me anytime that I was in a relationship, anytime that I was getting involved in somebody or in school, in the jobs that I was in, he would tell me, do not get it twisted. You are a king, and we deserve everything. You deserve everything. And ever since he said that, it's one of the things that will always stick with me. Because I am a king. And you are a king. You are the queens. But you're not acting like it. Every time you get put into these roles, you start to shrink. You start to not speak up. You start to not be the individual who you are meant to be. But what I want you to start understanding and start thinking, I want you to start thinking like that villain. In any of your movies, superhero movies, any of your, Transformers, aka my favorite. If you're not a Transformers fan, you might as well go to the next video. But the Decepticons, the coolest ones there. The Decepticons, the cool guy, they got the coolest cars. They got the best looks. They may not win all the time. But they got the coolest whip. But they always get shit done. Throughout that whole process, they don't care what anybody else is doing. They care more about what their mission is, what their task at hand is. But you spend so much time worrying about other people's feelings and living up to par to somebody else's standards. Why? And I get it. It's how we were raised. It's how we grew up. It's the people that we were surrounded by. You want to make your family proud. You want to make your coaches proud. You want to make your siblings, all those other people proud. I get that. I know it. I'm a brother. I want to be a good son. I want to be a good teammate. I want to be a good leader, all these things. But I have to live a life that I'm going to design, not a life that somebody else is going to put me in. So if that requires me to be a villain, to go against what other people are saying, then I will do that. Because this life that I'm in right now will not tolerate for me. This life will not allow for me to live the life that I desire and that I dream of. If I'm sitting in the office 6 hours out of the day dealing with these people for this another company that I don't even fully support because I know they could be so much better, but they don't see the potential of the people that's already in the company. So obviously, the people that are in the company and you don't respect them, why should we have the same amount of respect back to you? You only using us for our numbers and for us to produce for you. How about I produce for me? And so if that requires me to be a villain, then that's what I will do. Because to me, what this means, if you become this villain, allows me to be free. Free in my own world, free in my own thoughts, free in the things that I want to do and the things that I desire to do, things that I desire to make happen. I'm the only one that's going to limit me from getting to point A to point B. From getting from point A to point B. But nobody else is going to stop you. And nobody else is going to help you along the way. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort. And sometimes throughout that process is going to be a lonely journey because somebody else wants to play it safe. But deep down inside of you, there is something bigger and there's something so much more that you want to do. But you're like, I have to be careful. I have to be in the right mind. I have to be ready. I'm just not sure exactly where to go. I get it. The whole time you're not going to have a set plan for every single step. That's why you have to make the leap. That's why there's a risk that has to be taken. I was having a conversation with a trainer at at my facility, my place of work. And I was asking him, have you ever thought about online coaching? And I know there's the whole trend of everyone wanting to be an online coach, but he is a trainer. He is an actual trainer at this facility. And you trade your time for money. In essence, you are also not even getting the full amount that is being charged. Let's say you are having a session that is $120, maybe even up to $150. These trainers are only getting about $35 out of that entire $150. The rest is going to the company. $35. What are you supposed to do with that? And so I want him to just consider the idea, if you have all this knowledge and you have all this passion, why don't you try to expand it to other people? I get it. Some people are not the best online, but have you even tried? Have you even tried to see another way around? Oh, but there's things I have to pay off. There's debt that I have to fix. Well, $35 a session is definitely not going to get you there. If you're in $1,000 of debt, $35 is not going to get you there. But obedience is something that's beaten down into all of us. Instead of actually building yourself up and showing the power that is in you, respecting yourself enough to show that you are worth so much more, that you are so much more valuable. $35. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense to me. I think out of anything, if you were to be the one that was to sell the personal training and you were to get like a whole thing of commission with it, maybe a different story. I remember working for a company. I sold a 10-pack. For each session, I charged $100. Made $1,000 off of that. I'm the full 1,000, full. There are some other ways. There's some other companies, but this place is just not. It doesn't have the best structure, so to speak, for it. But what I want to get back to is actually just the topic of being the villain. I want you to think of Joker, for example. And I want you to answer this. Do you think, for anyone who's actually even seen the movie, the first one, I didn't watch the second one, for the first one, do you believe that Joker is a bad guy? Do you believe that? Do you believe that Joker is a bad guy? You're good, brother. You're good. You're good. Do you believe that Joker is a bad guy? Me personally, you saw the way he was treated. You saw the way that how they acted at his job. You saw the way they throwing rocks at, they throwing cans, breaking his sign. That pissed me off too. I'd turn in that situation too. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. But guess what? He no longer just wanted to obey the rules of the boss man. He wanted to live the life of his own. There were some other things he started doing. That's not where we're getting at. But he found his own way. He found his own passion, his own light, and hustled and gave his all to it. And so for the people that want to go into business, they want to be creators. You want to be in content. You want to be in film. You want to do art. Whatever the thing may be, why not give it your all? And I have no time. I'm just so occupied with everything I do. I work a full-time job too. There's a life I want to live, but there's things that I want even more of. I have to jump full force into this. In jumping full force into this, I'm going to make content left and right. I'm going to make challenges left and right. I'm going to make different programs left and right. Because I have to create more than I'm consuming. If I just get so stuck into the life of this company, of this job, I'm going to fall into their ways. And if I fall into their ways, I'm falling out of the way of the path that I want to go. I'm following the route of safety rather than the life that I want to go down. You have to learn how to lead, not only just leading other people, but leading you. How can you lead yourself? You have to learn how to build a structure for yourself. Once you are able to actually understand how to build your own structure, it's helpful. Because a lot of people try to strive for perfection. They try to strive for the most perfect thing. But I want to ask you, what do you have to do in order for you to reach perfection? What are the things that you have to do to actually achieve this perfection? Okay. When actually understanding what perfection is, it's not just reps. It's not just, I gotta do these things over and over again, and the more I do it, the more perfect. Yes, it is. It does help. It does fall in line with the structure. If you have the routines for yourself and you're able to do these things every day, every other day, whatever your particular routine is, yes, it will help you get to the next level. But if you're truly wanting to learn more about yourself and understand yourself more and understand where you crumble, where you fall, where all your flaws are, how you break, if you're really wanting to learn development, the best way to understand and get to the area of perfection is when you are able to reflect on yourself. When you're able to reflect, how well is this structure actually working for me? When you're able to reflect, how well is the routines that I'm actually doing working for me? If you are trying to be somebody that is trying to be in shape, what are your routines like? What are the things that you're doing? What are your habits? And I know you hear the word habits all the time, but a way that I want to break it down is, what are the things that you're doing every single day? And I hate to put you on blast. Sorry, Pops, but his routine, he'll sit at the house, do a little work, go to Popeyes. Nah, my dad loves Popeyes. Popeyes is a good, it's good. Look, I'm gonna draw this right here, right? And then you got, let's draw like a little, do not judge the, wow, I don't even know what this is supposed to look like. That's supposed to be a computer. I don't know how to draw a computer. Anyways, you go from the computer. Oh, it's break time. Did about an hour work. Did about 45 minutes of work. Let me just, do a little something out. Popeyes. Mm-mm. I almost said finger looking good, but that's KFC. Man. Popeyes. You go eat this greasy chicken. Satisfied, right? Right back. I ain't even finna draw that computer again. Right back to the computer. All right. Work is done. The idea of done with work, getting paid minimum, not exactly what you're worth, but you're getting paid, right? After you do this, you go sit down on the couch. Watching TV, watching Netflix, watching this new show. I'm a Bernie Mac fan. I will forever and ever RIP Bernie Mac. I will forever repeat his show on Netflix, and I was so happy they brought it back. I'm repeating this show, Bernie Mac, every day. I'm watching it. I got it on my iPad. Bernie Mac, I watch on the TV. So my dad has his shows. He'll lay on the couch and he'll sit there the rest of the evening. Sit there on his couch, probably grab a little something to drink, go to bed. And you go do the same thing the next day. This is the structure. But do you ever take the time to reflect and look, is this actually doing something that's worthwhile for me? Is this actually doing something that is valuable to me? Is this actually the life that I want to live? I worked so hard when I was young, so I earned this. Earned getting fat? You earned being able to get a belly? And Dad, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I love you to death, but I want to help you too. This is why I want to do all the things that I do, so I can bring you into new realities. I can bring you into a new space. I can get you out of that cycle, because you're no longer just having to do these jobs just to pay the bill, and you can actually do something that you enjoy. That's what I want. This is the legacy that I want. I'm not going to say I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'm doing all these things to help all of you. Yes, don't get it twisted. I do want to share knowledge to you. I do want to share what's going on up in your mind, because as soon as you start to understand that, you can help build your friends and help your family and build the things around you. But at the end of the day, the only person that is going to be there for you is you. If you're no longer producing content, you're no longer feeding and helping these people, they're no longer going to think about you. They're no longer going to respect you anymore. You're not giving anything to me. You're not bringing any value to me. What should I pay attention to you for? And I'm sorry, it is just the truth of the world. There are 8 billion something people in the world. Not everyone's going to care specifically about you. But if along this journey and along this path, I can be of help, I can be of guidance to you, you better believe I will because of the things that I went through. But there are feelings and emotions and people that I want to take care of. Why do I want to take care of them? That's a great question. And I'm going off and this just bouncing in my head. Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to give back to them? Well, one, I really have to think, and I think a lot, and I know a lot of us don't even actually just have the process and take the time to really think. I believe for me, my parents poured so much into me. I've went through 4 different surgeries, had a lot of things done. Blew out both knees, blew out my shoulder, and that takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of money out of their pockets that they may not even have had with me growing up. And you are funding all these things for me to live the dream of my life. You did the best you can. And I know growing up, I wanted to make you proud. I wanted to make you happy because I felt like I was letting you down. I felt like no matter what I was doing in school, the only things that I could do to make you proud was either scoring a touchdown, making a tackle, or doing well in school. And those are the things that I wanted to do, and I wanted to continue to do it. And I got my master's, I got into school. I completed it, and I thought it'd be like this hoorah. Everybody happy and everything. And then don't get me wrong, it was a good time. I was the first in my family to complete a master's. It was great. But through that experience, did that really help me level up in my career? Did it help me level up in the areas of work? No, they just shut it down. They didn't even tell me congratulations when I got back to work. It's a crazy thing, but I was always looking for all these things for external validation. I'm always doing these to validate and prove myself worthy enough to these other people. But why the hell am I doing that? What's that going to do? Hate to sound morbid, but all the friends, all the teachers, all the coworkers and bosses, they could die tomorrow. And I spent all this time to build up my recommendations, build up my resumes, going out of school just to show you, please promote me. Please help me get a higher job. Please pay me more. Why am I going to beg you when your job can be replaced like that? Just as fast as you can replace mine. And I want you to tie in all this back. This is just my reflection of my structures of life. When I was going through all these things with school, what was it really doing for me? What was it really processing for me? And there's a reason why I enjoy doing this, because I'm able to reflect. And this is a strategy for me to reflect. And I want you to find strategies for you to reflect. And this is just like free game for you to be able to reflect. When you're able to hear things out loud rather than sitting in your mind all day. When you are that villain and you are wanting to get shit done and you are wanting to establish something more of yourself, you're going to do everything in your capability to make sure you are leveling up every day. You are making sure you can beat the opponent every day. Every day in football, there is somebody right across from me that I have to beat. There is an offensive lineman that I have to beat every play. If not, I'm getting picked up, scooped off my feet, and pancaked. I got this big ass nigga laying on me like this. Can't have that. Next thing you know, I'm going up on Max Preps. Next thing you know, I'm going on some House of Highlights. I can't have that. I gotta whoop his ass. And that same process we have to do every day. When you're like, I don't got enemies. I don't have people around me that, everybody love me. Okay. You go to work and ask for your promotion. You go to work and tell them, I'm creating a business of my own. I really don't plan to be here much longer. You see how they change up. Well, where are you going to go? What makes you think you can do that? I'm going to see you here still sitting here on this desk for 8 months. Let's see you tell me how you feel. I've had people already telling me, you're going to be in that same chair in 8 months. I'm going to see you right there. Yet they're the ones that are telling me, how do you stay so disciplined in what you do? How do you make so much content? How are you putting so many things out? I just don't know what to do. I don't know what content to make. Oh, welcome. This is my day in the life at my job. I want to be sarcastic about it and all this. You can actually make it happen. You're doing all this talking. You want to talk down to me. Yeah, you can't even put in the work. And so this is going to happen. People are going to start hating on you for all of these things. People are going to start hating on your effort, on your discipline, on your hustle. And when they start hating on you, you can look at them and be like, you hating on me, but you haven't even done anything. What have you done? The most I hear is you blabbing on about what things I'm doing. I ain't seeing no accolades getting built on your end. What things are you doing? You working so hard for the man. You working so hard for this other person, but you hate this job. And you've been here for 4 years. Who the hell you think you are? Have the nerve to come speak to me. I want you to have this same fire because I want to prepare you for when this conversation happens. Because I'm telling you it's going to happen. Especially if you're going to work in a corporate space. Especially if you're in a space now. And I know for my homeboys, oh my guy in particular, is going into law school. He's about to go deal with a whole different ball game. Dealing with a whole different people, dealing with whole different clientels. And there's some other people I know in law that are killing it. But you have to have a different level of hunger. You have to have a different level of mindset. That no matter what, you can't be swayed. No matter what, you have to hold your values down firm. But if you're this hero and you want to help and save the world, don't get me wrong, saving the world is the plan. Creating a new life is the plan. But when you start taking in and trying to please everybody's emotions, it's not going to help you in the long run. If you want to create this villain, you have to learn to be free from care from their emotions. You have to be careless. Sometimes it's a little selfish. But this area of selfishness allows you to be selfless enough to pass on guidance to everybody else around them and teach them how to create a new life. And if they don't want to listen to you, they don't want to listen to you. If you're trying to pass game and they don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it. Move on. But you can't be trying to save all these people. All your old group chats, all your old friend groups back in high school, what the hell are they doing now? Do you want to follow their path? I get it. Oh, they're your boys. But you ain't helping me. We're not going nowhere. There are certain things that you have to do. And there are certain lanes you are going to have to walk through alone to then find your new group. There are new lanes that you're going to have to walk through, and there are going to be new things that you're going to have to conquer every day. There's two things. And there's some hard parts. There's some difficult things. There's some things that you may struggle with. And there's some things that you've heard as a child. There's some things you've heard just in life. Hear this word right here. Love. What does love mean to you? I was learning something. And I was learning, and I saw a quote, and it said, life has no meaning. Life has no meaning. And at first I was like, life has no meaning? Well, no, life's got meaning. You know what? I'm like, what is it? What is the meaning? We start talking, it starts talking more, going in depth. And then later it adds, and it goes, there's one more part that I want to add to this. Life has no meaning other than the meaning that you give it. And what I want you to take from that is, I know you hear all the numbers, 222, 111, angel numbers, all them. If you Google them online and you look at them wherever, every space is going to give you a different definition. And why are they going to give you definitions? Because everybody's perception is very different. Everybody's reality is very different. That is why if you talk to your mom, ask her a question, and ask your dad that same question, they're going to give you two different answers because they live two different realities. They live two different lives. It's the same aspect of your friends, your coworkers, your bosses, whoever. And so when they give you this meaning, don't always take things to heart. Don't always take things as fact. Find them out for yourself. What do you stand for? What does love mean to you? Does love mean Obedience. Follow everything I say because I love you. Our parents, family, relatives, close ones.